All right, man. All right, it's a new week, another heartbreaker for us. As you see, the Bills put that thing on us, man. The Bills, Buffalo came down here, came down 95, put that thing on us, beat us 37-3. At one point in time, it was like 37 nothing. Came down here, showed out, beat up on us, man. And right now, I don't even understand. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know if it's it start off on offense, defense, special teams, man. It was kind of like a disaster today. So I just want to get what's your reaction starting out about this whole game today?
Well, one of my reactions is I'm kind of mad that the coaches embarrassed us today. I think it was, even though how it's been 3 games, and in 3 games, I think Howell has thrown at least 30 something passes and averaging 30 passes a game. That ratio can't help a young quarterback. I mean, he only got 4 games in the season, and here we throw him 30 times, and it's getting ridiculous. I think it's a little bit too much. They're putting too much in his hands. They're not protecting him, and I'm not meaning the offensive line. If you look at a lot of his interceptions today, it was thrown on first downs and second downs. And I hate that, and that pisses me off when you throwing interceptions on first and second down because, like, man, why we ain't run? Then when I open up the stats, that really fucking pissed me off. I'm mad. The coaching is that we need balance until uh, EB give us balance. Right now, he's not giving us balance. This is ridiculous. I'm gonna read the stats right real quick. Robinson, 10 curries for 70 yards. This kid was averaging 7 yards a pop. This is ridiculous. Like what? We only had 13 runs. Howell had one, and Gibson had two. His was 2 for 17. He was averaging 8.5 a curry. When are we going to get balance? If we don't get balance, we're going to lose a lot more games. We have to get balance. I don't know what's up with him. He putting too much in Howell's hands. And the kid, he already got a problem holding the ball. And the only way to correct him, give him some help with run. And today we had a lot of run, and we didn't utilize it. He continues to put it on Howell. And I think that's so unfair for a young kid. I feel so sorry for him. And then he kind of destroyed it at the end. I mean, me and you were talking and texting during the game and stuff, but I just don't agree. They shouldn't bench him at halftime, but they should have benched him at some point in this game after halftime. They embarrassed them, but he embarrassed himself. You embarrassed the franchise. You embrace your coaching style. Like you making this guy shell shocked. He gave up, and I think that it's pitiful. And I pray he learned from it and not take some bad habits and get jittery back there because he started holding the ball. That last interception where he ran, and then he said, "Oh, let me throw it." He should have ran it. So now you got him making these crazy rash decisions. And that was crazy. He had open. He could have given him a fake punt and got another about 5 or 10 more yards. He decided to throw it, and the dude picked the ball off. We can't have that. EB got to give us some balance somewhere, somehow, and take the ball out of Howell's hand. They gave got daggone Heineke more help than they're giving this kid. He got a better, stronger arm. We know he can make the throws, but let's try to focus on him making the throws when we really need the throws. Not saying go and run, pass. You can still mix it up. But look, man, this stats is crazy. 7 yards per carry, 8.5 yards per carry. That's ridiculous. That's coaching.
Yeah, that was coaching. That was
That
coaching.
was terrible.
It was terrible. Well, I just brought on my other comrade DJ. He's
What's up,
ready. He
man?
want he
What's
wanted
up,
to
Dion?
chime in on what's going on with the status of the franchise. Man, the offense looked bad. I was kind of upset about it. I was upset about how the way he played. I thought they got McLaurin involved in the game a little bit in the first quarter. Got him involved a little, but then they just straight abandoned him the rest of the game. And I think he had what is came six catches, number 6 catches, 41 yards, no touchdown. Dawson had 2 balls, Samuels had 2 balls. And the offense was never in sync, never got anything going. And they just looked bad. And Dirk, I know you was at the game and you saw the game firsthand from in the stadium. And what you think is your thoughts on it?
Wasn't a good day for y'all. As I told you the other night, I had the Buffalo coming in favorite to win. Didn't expect it to be this type of game. Thought it would be a better game, a closer game. But of course, what Dion was saying, turnovers, quarterback play was bad. I kind of thought the same thing. Maybe they would take him out and give Brissett an opportunity,
Yeah.
but I'm thinking they may not have wanted to do that because maybe they didn't want to shatter his confidence by pulling him. But yeah, he today definitely wasn't a good day for him. Yeah, and another thing, just and I know this don't have nothing to do with the play, but today y'all stadium was full of Bill fans, and they were making a lot of noise. It almost sounded like a home game with the noise they were making when y'all were getting the ball third and whatever, and y'all needed a play. The noise was just crazy in the stadium. So I think that played a role as well. And not saying that y'all fans wasn't in the house, y'all had some fans, but that Bills Mafia,
Hmm.
they were in full force today, and I think that played a role in a lot of things as well. But definitely, quarterback play today was disheartening.
Yeah,
So
it was very upsetting. It was very upsetting, but it was still a ball game. It was still 16-0, third quarter. I don't want to say it was really a ball game, but the score wasn't yet out of reach. It was a 2 touchdowns, 2 extra point ball game. And then from there, they just totally collapsed. They totally collapsed. And I want to say I don't want to put too much on the defense, but none of our front four on the defensive line, none of those guys showed up. As you see, they had 0 sacks, really no pressures. My linebackers was invisible. Our secondary, they gave us some big plays. Man, this was a bad game all the way around. I'm very disappointed on how they performed. But I think it was more on the offense and how the offense performed, what the offense gave up, and I guess the defense just fell along with it.
well, I had told you that Diggs would that was his coming home party, and Diggs had a good game. I think that was a big difference on from the Buffalo side. When they needed a big play, he came through for them. So that hurt them quite a bit. Um, I think not going for the 3 points
Yeah.
early when it was 10-0, then you only down by one score. So I don't know why they went for that and they didn't take the three to show a three. Um, yeah. This whole game today, I believe they were out coached today, and it showed big time. So I don't know if it was lack of preparation, but they just didn't look good at all today. It wasn't a good day to be at FedEx. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it definitely was. But I don't understand why they let that guy what's his name stay in the game because it don't make any sense to humiliate the franchise and just allow him to just make mistake after mistake. You saw he was continuing to hold the ball. You saw he started getting decisive, and when he threw that interception, when he decided to run, and then you knew that was out of the pocket. I was like, you know what? It's time to pull him out. Just pull him out for the sake of the franchise. He just made we was letting him pat stats, and I hate when you look at the end of the season, you start counting people numbers like, oh yeah, what's the name? He got to the Pro Bowl, but remember the full stat game against the Redskins? I can't stand starting Pats, and I would have been took him out. And then Miami still didn't slow down. He continues to drop back and drop back and drop back. I was like, this guy is off the hook. So if we don't get no balance real quick, this run stat just killing me. Like, I mean, 7 yards a pop, 13 carries total for the whole. I mean, for the whole game is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Um, yeah.
Yeah, it was rough. They
Mm.
abandoned the run. I think the first 3 games, they totally abandoned the run. They putting too much pressure on Sam Howell. I don't know if they thinking he a little bit of Patrick Mahomes or he is Justin Herbert or whoever they believe he is. I think they putting too much on him for just the beginning of the game, and they coming out here throwing. They abandoning the run. They and they putting too much pressure on him. And you could see, obviously, because I've been watching Twitter and I've been watching all the local sports reporters and what they're saying. They're saying that hey, it's too much on the kid. He seemed like he's getting really outplayed, and so even some of those guys are calling for him to rely on a run and get back
Yeah.
to the basics because I think he's a little bit out of his league.
I can understand what you're saying, but at the same time, I don't think your line is producing enough to establish the run that well, whereas they don't have to rely on how. So I feel like a lot of pressure is put on them to come out here and try to open up the pass, which will open up the run. But right now, they just haven't gotten that cohesion. So it showed today. I know. I think I saw a stat where like Robinson had like 70 yards rushing. I know he had a couple plays where he had like a nice little run, where maybe he had got a big chunks from
Hold on,
that.
hold on. I don't know what game you was looking at. He was averaging 7 yards a carry.
Yeah, he had
He had,
70 yards, total of 70
he
rushing
had a
yards.
total of 70 yards, but he was averaging 7 yards a carry.
Mhm.
10 carries,
Mhm.
13 total.
Yeah, but you can't run the ball when you're down 16 nothing, whatever. You can because it was still early, but at the same time,
Hold on.
you're trying to get the you're trying to get some points, I guess, on the board fast. So yeah, you sometimes
Yeah,
tend to abandon the run to try to make that difference up.
we gave up a 21-point quarter.
Mhm.
21-point quarter. That was the fourth quarter. Third quarter, they ain't scored nothing. So it was still 16-0. He's not established run. He has to establish a run. We had plenty of time. It's 2 touchdowns. We get one touchdown, we back in the game. Even if we don't get the extra, the 2-point conversion. So I mean, yeah, we probably didn't have enough time, but yeah, we did. They had 10 points in the first quarter, they had 6 in the second, 0 in the third, and then we gave them a 21-point fourth quarter. So that's when the game got stupid. Towards
Yeah,
that fourth quarter was terrible.
Yeah, that got
And
they got they got out of hand. They got out of hand real quick,
and
real
here's
quick.
and here's when coaching's messed up. This should have been 13 before halftime, but they continue to. I understand he wanted to get some points, but this kid was not. He was already off sync the whole game. He be getting hit a lot. Sit down, run the ball, going to halftime 13-0. And then if you kick that field goal, it'd have been 13-3. So you got they gotta do better. They gotta get some balance here. We gonna do horrible. We keep doing bad. We got Dallas play, they got crazy pass rush. We got a lot of other teams. We got Philly coming up. It's gonna be rough if he don't get no balance. If he continue to rely on this kid, you don't want to get predictable. I know you're saying throw the pass, open up the run. But at some point, you might have to get a little bit predictable or something. You got to do something to get the ball out of this kid's hands or something. He definitely holding the ball too long, and he putting a lot. So hopefully he can make some adjustments next week and come back and bounce back. But this is gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough week.
Yeah, good point made. I wasn't tracking the scores like that, but you're right. It was
Yeah,
still a two score game
two
going into the
score,
fourth.
two score.
You have
We
to
gave 13. That fourth quarter got ugly,
yeah.
and I think I would have benched him around the third quarter. I think I would have sat back and like, you know what? Let's get him out of here. He getting a little fluttered. He started making. He was making all. He just started getting the ball, going back and curling up and sack. He was just. It was crazy. It got messy, and I think they didn't protect him. They still not protecting. We threw 90 times in 3 games.
Well, I want to say,
So
I think Mark, you made the point earlier that the defense I think was a big letdown today as well, because when he threw the interception at the 1 yard line, I was like, oh yeah, Chase Young, somebody gonna make a play to get a safety. And that first play, man, the offensive tackle took Chase was on the left side, took him all the way across the field to the right side, totally out of the play. And I'm like, this is the time that we needed a big play, and they just couldn't do it. They wound up getting like a 20-some yard pass off of that or something. But I'm like, the defense, like you said, when they needed them to be there, they weren't there today.
They,
It was to me, I thought it was bad on all ends. I think
Yeah,
all sides of the field, they didn't play well at all
yeah,
today.
they didn't.
yeah, they didn't show up. I'm a little bit shocked about our defense, even though the defense, I want to say they kind of kept them in the game by keeping
Yeah,
it 16-0, but it was like they really didn't show up. They didn't make the critical stop when we needed them. We left points on the field. That field goal could have cut it 13-3. It could have made it 10-3, 13-3. He
10-3
didn't
at
keep
that time.
right.
Yeah.
He did. He should have kicked the field goal, but he went for it. And I was upset about that but his whole career in Washington, I believe he made bad decisions when it come down to going for it on fourth down, kicking a field goal. You got to get points. The name of the game is to get points. And I understand he want to try to put some confidence in the offense, and I understand he want to get momentum, but sometimes you got to have a feel for the game, and I believe that's what he's like. I don't think he has a good feel of what's going on. Buffalo had a good feel of the game, the way they played, and I think they got to the point to where they didn't need to be aggressive with us because they felt that we wasn't going to score. Our offense wasn't good enough to
yeah,
put points on the board. And once you get like that, I think they took their foot off the pedal and they just played around with us. And to me, it was kind of sad. But if you go back to look, Josh Allen was 20 of 32, 218 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, no sacks. James Cook came and killed us, 15 carries for 98 yards. Josh Allen's had 3 carries, 46 yards. And like he said, Stephon Diggs had 8 catches, 111 yards. He cooked them back there, man. He cooked them. I don't want to say he cooked one individual person, but he played behind that zone, right behind the linebackers, but in front of the safeties, and he made all his catches. And they showed out. And they showed out on our defense. So I don't want to give our defense like they played a good game. They played enough to hang in there, but they didn't play enough, I think, a good enough the game to win, especially in the fourth quarter. And but it was sad.
well, the fourth quarter we was in a lot of bad field position. They was on this side of the field the whole fourth quarter.
Right. They killed us. They killed us that
Yeah.
fourth quarter. They killed us the fourth quarter. They took it to Sam Howell. They had 9 sacks, but at least 5 or 6 of those sacks was on Sam Howell because he was afraid to throw the ball down the field. So he ate a lot of those sacks holding the ball. And who do you blame? Do you blame the enemy? Do you blame Sam Howell? You can't really blame the offensive line because I believe that, just like I just said, he held on to the ball, and right now we're struggling bad with Sam Howell.
That's a common thing that we've been saying. That's a common denominator for all 3 games now. Everyone has been saying Sam Howell's been holding on to the ball too long.
Yeah.
So today was another example of that. So that's an obvious problem that everyone sees, but I don't see any adjustments being made.
Nothing
to change that.
Nothing.
So I think that's a huge factor. And as long as he continues to do that, that's going to continue to hurt the offense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're going to keep sending everybody. They're going to come after them. They're going to make them, yes. Yeah, you're right about that. God.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
And we always, man, over all these years, we always make a bum-ass motherfucker look good. Like Bernard. This motherfucker had 2 sacks, an interception. I think he had like a forced fumble.
It was patent stats today.
Yeah,
man.
I was like, this dude, Micah Hyde, and he ain't have an interception in 2-3 years.
Yeah, when they said that's it,
I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
Come on, man. What are we doing? We letting these dudes Patton
said 3
stat.
years, man.
Right.
I
It was
think this was,
terrible.
and I think this was Michael Hyde's first game back. This is first game.
Yeah, something because he was barely. Yeah, man, this is terrible, man. That's why I said they was padding stats, and I wouldn't allow them. I'd have put Brissett in like, look, we're gonna run the ball. Let's submit this game. Look, there was no way after, man. It was just after that last, man. It was just the coaching just was terrible. What are you gonna do, man? They flooded this guy now. I don't know what we're gonna get out of him next week. I don't know what's gonna happen.
My personal opinion, and I felt this way all season. I felt like, yeah, they were trying to make Howard to be the man, but I felt like Brissett would have been a better fit to come in and
Yeah,
lead off. He's a proven winner. He comes in off the bench, but he's also led teams when like last year in Cleveland, when Deshaun Watson was out, Brissett had a heck of a season, trying to carry the team until Deshaun came back. I think my personal opinion is I feel like he's a more poised quarterback. He can run the ball if he needs to take off, he can run. I think he's just a better quarterback, but I feel like they're trying to force Sam Howell to be the man. Maybe because they made him the first round pick, whatever he was for you all, and I feel like they're just trying to force him, and I don't think he's ready for it. That's just my personal opinion, but I'm at this point I feel like they're ready to ride or die with Sam Howell, and I'm hoping it ain't the latter of the two I just said.
I just think they ain't giving, in my opinion, about that whole situation. He should have started last year. Then we didn't know we had. We didn't know all these issues this year,
Right.
and that they messed him up. That last year, we should have been starting last year. We
Uh-oh.
Right. They should have started him maybe towards last year, and they probably could have played a good game, played a better game.
Right. Dion, you muted.
Yeah, he
Okay.
talking here a little bit muted. Dion, you muted. We
You
can't hear you.
muted.
Yeah, but he um he need to he need to step up, man. He, he had a lot of shit going on that Dion. We still can't hear you. It's still a little bit. You can't hear you. So, Dirt, you was at the game. You watched it firsthand. You said you had a lot of Buffalo Bills fan in there.
Oh, they were
Man,
deep. Pulling
they
up
was
to the
deep.
stadium. Pulling up to the stadium on the interstate. You saw them in the cars when you got to the when we parked. It was Buffalo Bill fans everywhere, and when you went into the game, that's the first thing that LaJuan said. She was like, "Look at all the Bill fans, especially on the visitor side. Look like that
Right.
whole side was just red, white, and blue over there, and there was quite a few fans. But yeah, they definitely traveled well. They were there to support their team, and it was this one defensive player. He kept throwing his hands up, like to get the crowd going, and
Right.
man, it was crazy. It was
So do
really,
you
really
think
hot.
do you think it was like 50-50, or you think
Oh,
Buffalo
no.
had more fans?
Oh yeah, definitely. Buffalo had more fans than
dang.
y'all. Oh yeah,
Damn.
easily. Last game it was 95-5 because I say well maybe Arizona don't travel, but easily I'm gonna say it was man maybe 65% Buffalo, maybe 70. It was a
That's
lot.
terrible. Well,
It
you
was a
know
lot
that
of
fans
Buffalo.
travel and it's right up the street, so
Yeah. Yeah. It was a lot of fans that day.
but yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know if we're gonna never correct that.
yeah.
No,
I was
I don't
I
know
was
how that's gonna work, but
after that first game, I was like, okay, people didn't bought in. You got the new owner. You got EB. Everybody's looking for exciting things out the offense, so people are showing up. And again, today I walk out there. I told you that, Mark. I said I'm anxious to see what type of crowd shows up for this week's game. And yeah, no, the Buffalo fans was at the house this week, so I was like, oh, it's starting to look like it did in previous years. So just got to
But
see what happens
I think probably a lot of those fans got those tickets before,
early.
right, early. They said, "Hey, we're going to DC. We're gonna go and we're gonna
yeah,
take over." And right
they're
before
fans
this,
like Pittsburgh. You know, Pittsburgh
right,
Yeah,
got a lot of traveling fans.
yeah.
Pittsburgh got a lot of traveling. For Buffalo got a lot of traveling. Cowboys
Yeah,
got a lot of. I just watched their game against the Cardinals. They had a lot of fans in Arizona,
yeah,
and
and
they
that's a long way.
They were deep. They were deep, but I was glad they took that L.
Yeah, I was glad they took that L too. I
Glad
was
they took
glad
that.
they took that
I
L.
love when the Cowboys do because they so overrated, and
Yeah,
every year they're like Cowboys gonna do this, and look what they did.
yeah, yeah.
Laid an
They,
egg,
they look
Later,
bad. They
laid
definitely.
a real egg, and a lost egg, a double O. But that makes me feel a little bit better. But I'm still worried about that. So I think I don't know, man. How far y'all think? Here's my question there. So how long do we keep saying, man? Do we bench him? I mean, do we got a halftime game against Philly? If we in the game like this, if we down 14 nothing, I mean, what you think will happen then? Are we gonna bench him, or I mean, what?
Mark, I'll give you
well,
that first one.
I think, far as a coaching standpoint with Ron Rivera, I think his job depends on Sam Howell performing. I think if Sam Howell can't perform and we come short of making the playoffs, then I believe that he's fired from being the head coach. I think he struggled with making the critical decisions in games. I think how Sam Howell he struggled the first 3 games of the season. If we play against Philly, um, I think if the game get out of hand against Philly, I think you will have to consider to make the change. You know, DC is already a hey, let's go to the next man up type of city anyway.
Yeah,
It's a type of city anyway. And you know, when I'm
we
on
with you,
Twitter,
but
right? When I'm on Twitter, and I would read these reporters and they reporting
right.
from the sideline, man. Hey, they like, hey, we need to make a move quick. So I don't think he gonna have a lot to hold on to. The guy's young. He's a young quarterback. Rivera's playing for his job, and he don't really have a lot of time to mess around with Howe because his job depends on it.
Yeah.
So
I'm,
he
I'm,
need to make a move.
So you
I'm
think he gonna
thinking.
make the? You think he'll make the move?
I'm thinking Dion. If he plays the way he played this game in the first quarter, first half, first quarter and a half of against Philly, if he's
Especially
doing the
holding the
same thing, I
ball.
think they're going to pull him. I think
I
they
think
have
they
no
is too.
choice. They have
They
no
have
choice
no
but to pull him.
choice
Yeah,
because he's not correct, especially holding the ball.
yeah,
Especially holding the ball.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I hate DC and quarterback controversies. I hate that
Yeah.
we keep starting these different quarterbacks, but they could never get their hand on who's the starter, who's good, who's bad. And it's just ridiculous that every time you turn around, they gotta put someone else or consider someone else.
But
Yeah.
I don't think it even has to be a controversy. If your quarterback is struggling, that's what your second. That's what the other quarterback is there for. Next man up. If he can come in and get the W for you, that's all that matters. Now, that's not to say that Sam Howell can't start the game after that. You know, and he may not. Don't get me wrong. It could be the controversy where you say, okay, let's go with Brissett. But I'm just saying that backup is supposed to be able to step in, help the team to get the W, and then you have another week to work on trying to get that other quarterback back in game shape or whatever you may call it. But definitely, yeah, it's this. Like I said, I give him a quarter and a half at the most, Dion. If it's close, if it's close and he's playing bad after the first quarter, I would think he needs to be pulled to give Brissett and the offense opportunity to try to win the game. But
Yeah.
you can't keep taking W's, L's like this and playing them and able to justify it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's not making an arm and a leg. He's not making $100 million, so you feel like you're obligated to pay him. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean to play him. So let's next man up mentality, like you said. Let's see what Brissett can do to try to save the game before you back to 2-2. You know what I'm saying? So just got to see what happens because Philly is going to be a tough one next week in Philly. That's going to be a tough game.
Yeah,
So
that's gonna be rough. And and Dirk, we talked about it the other day. I really didn't have a lot of confidence in us beating Buffalo. I know it was an AFC team, and I wasn't really too worried about that. But now, when you get into the thick of things, you got Philly, you got the Bears, and you got the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we need all 3 of those games in the NFC to put a grip on, where we need to be for us to make it run towards the playoffs. Buffalo, you could kind of like let it slide a little bit. Every win counts, but you could kind of let it slide. But now you in the thick of things as far as the NFC with all these teams that's just right around in the mix. Atlanta lost today. The Bears got the brakes beat off them by Kansas City. And I think Philly. Who do Philly do? Philly play tonight or they play tomorrow?
No, they played already.
Now Philly plays Tampa Bay tomorrow. It's a double header tomorrow.
Oh, I'm tripping up. Think about it. They play tomorrow.
So they got Tampa Bay tomorrow.
Yeah.
In Pittsburgh, I think Pittsburgh and Cincinnati tomorrow. Those are 2 Monday night games.
Damn.
Yeah, it's gonna get rough, and they need these games. They need these wins. They need it to. It's sad that we got already started looking past this week because we got the brakes beat off us today. These one of them games where you got to kind of like forget about it. Let's already start talking about Philly and see what they up to. But it was sad. It was a sad outcome today.
Yeah, I'm looking at these scores, man. There was some wild games this week, man.
Right. I don't want Duck. Dion. He a New Orleans Saints fan back there. He got that Saints jersey, Saints shirt.
I see that. I see that. They lost by 1.
Yeah, it's been gonna kick a Memphis in the end.
But what's going on with the quarterback there?
We lost our quarterback early in the third quarter. First series to the third quarter. When I left my seat, because after he threw that interception for the touchdown, when the guy mushed him and ran in for the touchdown, everybody started leaving. So when I got out of my seat, the Saints was winning 17-3. When I got in my car, they were down 18-17. I don't know what happened, but
it was a wild week, man. I mean, I'm looking at this. Houston beat Jacksonville.
Yeah, definitely wasn't.
37-17.
Oh yeah, definitely wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I mean, it's some
Yeah.
New England barely beat the Jets.
The Jets,
15-10.
Yeah.
Kansas City finally, they played Chicago. Chicago I think they done.
Chicago is lost, man. I was watching some of that game. Justin Fields, he looks lost out there.
So do you think with Chicago they going with the backup next week?
I don't even know who is their backup.
Exactly.
Anybody better than Fields? Anybody can put out there that's better than Fields.
Well, we should know about the Ohio State quarterbacks. I tell you, man.
Yeah,
we had one.
As we say, Arizona beat Dallas.
Yeah,
that was a shocker.
That's a shocker too. I was surprised. I was big time surprised.
I think Dallas was looking past them, man.
As they are. I don't know when Jerry Jones started passing out. Cole got the 2 wins. I don't know what he doing. Dallas just love to fuck up games like this. This is what they do.
Yeah, I think they
crazy.
Totally underestimated them guys. And them guys
did.
Punched them in the face. So
they did. Dak threw that interception. I was like, there you go, Dak. That's what you do.
He killing me.
A black Kirk Cousin.
That's my black. That's my fantasy quarterback, and he killing me. Oh man, he killing me in fantasy. I was like,
I ain't gonna tell you what my dumb ass did. I'm so embarrassed and stupid and dumb. I ain't even gonna tell you what I did. I started Howell over fucking Allen.
Oh, are you crazy?
Oh my God!
What is he thinking?
he was playing with his heart. I'm gonna give him that. Dion, he's loyal. He's loyal to a fault.
Ain't that fucked up? I said, what the fuck was I thinking? I must have been drinking or something when I made my. I'm looking at this. Why did I do this shit?
Damn.
I did. I swear. I can't even lie. But I feel so damn bad. I gave up a game, fucking around with my heart.
Oh my God!
Now, you started Howell over Josh Allen, man.
I wouldn't have played Howell.
And I had Diggs. Like I got Diggs in the game, but that would have been like a double whammy with points with both of them. Man, I'm so fucking pissed. I said, what the fuck was I thinking? Yeah. I feel so stupid.
Yeah, Howell wouldn't touch the field on my fantasy team until Allen was on the bye. That's the only way you bitch Allen. You don't bitch Allen any other time, man. Especially for Sam Howell. I ain't gonna go off on you, Dion. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it
Oh
is.
man.
I definitely wouldn't have did anything like that. I definitely, but I want to talk about, man, the hottest topic, man,
Oh,
of the
there you go.
weekend. The
Prime.
hottest topic of the weekend,
Oh
man.
man, Lord.
Colorado, Oregon, man. I watched that game. I was so upset that I couldn't even watch it. I
For
was
what
at work.
though?
I watched it, but when they started getting blown out, I started looking at other things. Started making myself get busy at work because I was so pissed that they was losing.
For what?
Because I mean, even though I knew Oregon was going to beat them, but I just didn't like the way they
You thought it
handled
was
the
better.
whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. Dion and them have been overachieving so far this year. Don't forget last
Yeah.
year they were 1-10 last year. So don't forget about that. They did some
Yeah.
good things in the first 2 weeks. They struggled to beat Colorado State, but they were able to come back in overtime and win it. But hey, you playing against Oregon. Oregon is a top 10
Yeah.
team. They got a bunch
Dion
of
ain't been there but
ballers
what,
on that
eight
team.
months,
Yeah,
6 months, 7 months. He only got 1 year recruiting.
yeah.
But
Give
it's
him time.
but
Give him time.
to me, I believe it's a way to win. It's a way when they ran that fake punt, I thought it was disrespectful. From your own 15-yard line, you run a fake punt with your defensive lineman. That's how disrespectful is that? It's the way I thought it was. I thought it was classless by the head coach and by Oregon.
How the hell you
I
think
thought
that's classless?
Wait, did it
because
work?
how
Did
it
it work?
worked. It
Did it
worked.
ain't
It worked.
classic? Did it
It
ain't
worked.
classic?
It worked. But I thought the dude had to me, I just don't have no respect for him as far as how he handled things. And then he was running his mouth at halftime. And he was already up 35 nothing. He talking about it ain't over. To me, just me personally, it's a way to win and it's not a way to win. But
So hold on. I ain't mean to cut you off, Mark. Hold on. You got the game fucked up. So Dion can say what the fuck he want to say, and
but
nobody
what
supposed to come back.
but
He
but
is drawing this attention. When you go out here and start talking trash, and I got my program, I've been working on this shit for about 10 years, 5 years, and you talk about what you going to do, and you going to my son and this and that. Hey, dog, you drawing that. I'm going to talk shit about it. I'm supposed to say, oh, man, forget that. We going to say this Dion. Hell no. I'm going to talk shit back. You hear grown ass man.
Yeah,
He
nah.
draws this.
Dion got a lot of coaches pissed off at him, and
Yeah.
he's
but
getting
they
all
He
the
not.
hype.
drug it.
He's getting
But
all the hype. The media then blew him up,
Yeah.
and that coach was like he said before the game. He was talking shit before the game.
Yeah.
They playing for clicks. We playing for
Yep.
wins, and he was
Exactly.
serious. He went
but
out
my
there
whole thing
to win the
about
game.
it. But my whole thing about it is we all know Colorado is not where they need to be at. To me, I believe
So he's
Oregon,
supposed to sit back and don't play.
if you plan for wins, then beat the big games from the teams that's ranked 10 and above. If
Yeah.
you going to Georgia last year, you lose 49-3. Beat the teams. If you plan for wins, beat those big games, beat those teams. He's talking about we playing for wins. Beat those teams that you can equally match with. Don't
But
sit here and beat up
you gotta
on
beat Colorado.
Colorado.
But you
So
got to beat
yeah.
Colorado too. Don't get me wrong. Colorado was 2
But
and
you
0
but you was a
or
20
3 and
point
0, whatever it is.
21.5 point favorite. You were supposed to beat them. You are supposed
Okay.
to beat a
All right,
Colorado.
man.
So
We
he
know
went in there and
that.
did what he was supposed to do. I think.
Beat,
Don't get me wrong. I know you in your feelings because it was Dion. I was on my sofa last night, pissed off because they were beat down. I wanted a better game, even if they lost. I wanted it to be a better game. But to me, Dion got that humble pie dish to him last night. He got his ass whipped. The team got their ass whipped. 2 games in a row, they started out slow on offense, which they've been saying they can't do against an Oregon team that's strong like that. And we all know their defense is suspect. And it
Right.
showed. They took
It
advantage of it.
showed. It
Dion them
showed.
been
They couldn't
Dion
even
them been
tackle, man.
overachieving.
They was dragging them boys.
Yeah, they've been overachieving. Yesterday, no, they were brought back down to earth, and it is what it is. It ain't gonna get no
It
easier
is.
next week. Shit, you
Look.
got USC next week. It ain't gonna get no easier next week. So hey, now you coming into the meat of the schedule. You playing against some Pac-10 teams, Pac-12 teams. I mean, and Washington, man, all the teams in the Pac-12 looking good. Oregon State, Washington State, Washington, USC. Man, they're about to come up on some hard games. So it can get real ugly for Colorado here in the next several weeks. So
It is.
if you were upset yesterday, you might, I don't know, Mark, you might want to go get you a big towel to cry with
No
for the rest of
bull.
the season because it's about to get ugly, bro. It's about to get ugly.
But I mean, when I looked at Colorado's schedule, when I looked at it, of course I gave them 5-6 losses. Right? They can't beat a lot of those teams. Not right now. They too small in the offense, defensive line. They way too small. So I gave them 5 or 6 losses. But what I'm saying is, it's a way you're supposed to win. Oregon don't come in there. That's just like, don't come in there and you talking shit and you beat up on a Colorado team. You're supposed to beat them. They not on your level yet. They still small. They still undersized. They not on your level. Don't talk shit and then beat up on your little brother, but then go out in the streets and get knocked out by one of the boys your same size in the streets. And that's
Like
how I look at it. Right. That's how I take it. Don't talk shit. You beat your little brother up in the living room, then you go outside and Georgia out there and they beat the brakes off your ass 49-3. I'm like, damn, they chase you back up in the house. You got to pick a fight with your little brother again.
But
and that's how I see it.
Tell your little brother stop talking shit.
Yeah, you're right.
Tell your little brother stop talking shit.
You got to take the good, the bad with the ugly, man. Dion's been talking a lot of stuff. Dion been making a lot of money selling those glasses. I was telling LaJuan, my wife, I was saying, I just feel like it's like a Hollywood thing with them, man. Again, I'm watching the team about to come out the tunnel. Who's the first person I see? Terrell Owens. Man, stick to basics. You got too many celebrities on the sideline. You need to be focusing on your game. You realize that your team is not that strong, but yet and still, you got everybody and their grandma showing up every week. You know what I'm saying? Get all that out of there, man. Let's play ball. And I felt like that Oregon coach was like, shit, you want to play games? I'm going to show you how it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
And he, like you say, he was the big brother. He spanked that ass the way the big brother's supposed to spank that ass. Now, Dion got to take them lumps and move on. It is what it is, man. You know? I ain't mad at the coach for going for it with the fake punt. That shit worked. Nobody was expecting it. And that's why you're supposed to do it. Nobody was expecting it. The shit worked. It didn't backfire on him. And he just coached a hell of a game. His boys was hitting on all cylinders. They made Colorado look bad. They took the L. It is what it is. Now I want to see what Colorado going to do next week. Are you going to respond and bounce back and play better ball? Or you going to continue to lay down and let the big brother smack you around? So, hey, here comes big brother number 2 coming up next week. That's all I'm saying. I'm the baby.
He getting jumped.
Exactly. I'm the baby. I got my ass whipped by my big brother quite a bit. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, I got tired of getting my ass whipped, and I had to start fighting back. Now I want to see what Colorado going to do since they got their asses whipped. They got punched in the face. I want to see what they're going to do next week.
Well, look, I'm gonna let y'all know. I personally I don't like Dion, to be honest. Like you said, I ain't never really liked Dion. I mean, I ain't like when he played for us. I mean, my whole thing with Dion is, hey, just like we play. I was just telling you earlier, Mark, when we played them. He came to DC. We played at RFK, and he came up here talking all this. He brought MC Hammer. This is what he do. He just he an individual that like fame and Hollywood shit. He brought MC Hammer. He ran a pump back, but guess what? We beat him 52-10. We won. You think we was gonna sit there and he come up here and talk shit, get a couple of picks, win for the Falcons? We whooped their ass. 52-10. He want to talk and walk the walk, but he know he ain't got. He know what he ain't got. He already said it. You better get me now. Yeah. So. And I personally, I think he need to calm down because really I'm not on all that. We trying to get these youngins like off of this Twitter, all this stuff they be doing on the internet, and he making it worse. I think these divas, and I can't stand these divas when they come to the league and then they come here with all this, what's my man play for Baltimore receiver. They come here like
OBJ.
Yeah, OBJ. Nobody come play football, man. Come for business. It's a business.
Right.
I mean, he's showing that side. He's doing a lot of teaching and a lot of storytelling, but I think it's just the wrong way of showing kids how, like, he do it. I saw Instagram post. He riding in the car with his son car. And this is like a lot of overly. Oh yeah, I'm driving my son. What's the name? And I'm getting sick. It's really all personally about his son. To be honest, his sons. That's what I think it is. He got an objective, and it ain't about nobody else. It's about his sons, and especially his son as the quarterback. Because the other one got a scholarship to go to a school. He ended up coming, and following his father, but his son didn't. And he's trying to prove a point. And I think it's kind of sad because that's what I think his agenda is. I don't think he'll stay in Colorado more than 3 years.
I don't know. I mean, I think
I really
Colorado
don't.
would. I think Colorado will be better after these next couple of years. If he stays, they will be better. I don't know, far as they'll be contender for a national championship. That's something that's totally different because they in a conference where they have a lot of heavy hitters. But I think they will, and like I said before, if they can get their offense and defensive lineman has to get bigger. They has to get bigger and they has to get stronger because that's where they lack. They lack the big guys up front. And they had the skill position, but that's just like Division II. Division II lack offensive and defensive linemen. They have size and strength. But they have the skill positions already. They just lack the
it's just
size.
in between the lines. That's all over there. It's just college football. Between the lines.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get some good skilled corners and some receivers. Is in between the lines is where you win. Got to win that.
Yeah. Well, again, this was his first year. He had like 65 players. 65 players that he got out of the portal. That's crazy. That's a lot of dang on players. So
he's gonna come harder than that next year.
Yeah, so I know he's trying to still build the team, but again, let's see how they respond for the rest of the year.
That's what I want to see.
To me, I feel like that's going to help determine what type of players he get this offseason based off of how they do the rest of the year. That's going to be a big deciding factor.
It's going to be a big deciding factor. Because who want to go with a bunch of 5 stars, to be honest? Let's be honest. Like, if he keep getting 5, he'll be like, I don't want to go. How the fuck up? I just want to see. That is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Because he got to win enough games to be kind of like, we moving up. It's going to be tough. Because he's not going to be able to, it's hard recruiting, man. These kids are decisive, man. They go by, if they go by the fame, they're going to go to Dion. They go by, so they go by different things, man.
Yeah, and now with that NIL, it's all about the money as well. So you want,
and if they going by that, they might go to Dion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but these players now, before they were trying to go to the team to win a national championship. Now it's trying to go to a team to win a national championship. But at the same time, I'm trying to get these dollars. I think that NIL is huge. And don't get me wrong, I don't think nobody's making more money than his son, Dion's son.
Right. It's
right
about
now. You know what I'm saying?
And maybe it's Travis Hunter.
I don't see anything, and he might be maybe just low key with it, and that'd be nice. But like Dion's son is flashy. He's driving in the Rolls Royce SUV. He's doing those type things. So he's showing what he's making. I think he's making like, I want to say it was like 3.7, maybe more than that now. 4.2 million in NIL deals or something like that. Some crazy amount of money. But that's all that plays a factor in where these kids are now going to be going to school. So
that's crazy. Yeah, you're right about that. NIL is definitely the truth.
We definitely going to have to just see how it plays out. But again, to me, I want to see how they finish. Yeah. I know they're undersized. I know they got a lot of things, but that week one, they stood up and they overcame the odds. How many games that you're all going to be the underdog that you can actually win the game? That's what I want to see the remainder of the year. I was riding high with Dion, happy for him, but right now I'm like, okay, that's off. That's over with now.
Even though I was
all
riding
that is over. Now I want to see what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Now that and like I said, so we just got to see how it plays out, man.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see how it plays out. But 2 things I want to touch on real quick. Dion, I know your son played for Maryland. Maryland had their game yesterday against Michigan State. I remember reading a stat. They said it's the first time Maryland has beat Michigan State in Michigan since 1950. Did you watch the game yesterday? Did you watch your son play yesterday?
Yeah, I watched the game. I'm disappointed. I mean, you can see Mike Locksley was disappointed. He disappointed because he got to keep going fourth downs and stuff, trying to get his offense to go. Offense stink. It really do. The offense really stinking right now. The
With
play
Tua
calling.
little brother? With Tua
Huh?
little brother?
Yeah, and I think it's they got a new offensive coordinator. So the one that was there last year, I want to say he went to Charlotte. Like he left and he's the head coach of Charlotte, the team they played on the second game of this year. So I think it's something going on. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't get this shit together by the next game. That Mike going to take over the play call. They're going to make some changes on offense as far as play calling or something. They got to do something to do something, get this offense going, man. It's terrible, man. I mean, Michigan was so sorry. I mean, they were pitiful. I mean, I looked at the whole game. They had a lot of drop passes. They had a quarterback threw interceptions at critical points. I think he threw two interceptions. They put a backup in. He threw a pick. So the defense been getting, but it's a lot. They still kind of thin in between the lines. But I don't know. I don't know what to expect. We're gonna see. I think next week we got Indiana. I think we beat them last year, and then we got Ohio State.
So what is Maryland right now? They 4-1, 4-0,
4-0.
4-0.
Yeah, but I went to all the games and I've been watching, man. This offense been stagnant a little bit. I mean, they score here and there. Now, this game, they started off early in the first quarter. They got some points, and then at the second half, they struggled. They was 3 and out, and then they end up getting, so it's not flowing like it should be by the fourth game. I don't know if it's Tallulah. I don't know. To me, it look like the receivers ain't getting no separation. Some of them are, some of them, yeah. Only one I really like right now is Deitch. And I gotta be careful. It's funny, because you be at games, and I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, Mark. You know what I mean? But you gotta be careful because you might be talking to somebody's kid and they might be sitting right beside. I'm like, God damn, take this sorry ass out the game. I might be. I'm like, I need to get rid of his ass. Hey, no, I mean, it's all in fun, but it ain't fun because I don't want nobody saying it about my son. He ain't even getting no time yet. So, but it's they need to do something. If they really knew something, look, man. Anybody I got on my team that run the state that won the state champions in the 160, broke the record in the 60 and the 55, 2 years in a row, and only had 2 years of track, and you got them on your team. You gotta utilize them. So I don't know what he gonna do. I don't know. I gotta find somebody to know Mike. Like, look, y'all didn't put my son at receiver. So he was a killer at receiver. His coach started him. I don't know what happened with the coach. Like his coach kind of held him back. I don't know what happened his senior year, and we was kind of disappointed with that. So he ended up getting recruited as a corner, and he was killing, killing that receiver. I'm talking about Mawson. All kinds of catches. Oh man, he been doing that for a while. And to see, he really wanted to concentrate at D-back, but the coach kind of stunted him because the year before he had COVID kid, so he didn't get all the video, and that he missed the COVID year. So then there was some jammer seniors that the coach had to play. But then, all right, they gone. Senior year, you got receivers that's running 4.5, 4. So you got to do running the 4.3, like on your team, and he the state champion, and you don't put him at receiver. I just think you got a problem coaching. So, and the dude never spoke to us as a parent. Like this dude walked past us even at his signing day. We like, damn, he ain't say nothing. Said something about the other kid that went to Delaware, University of Delaware. When he went up there and talked about players, he didn't say nothing about my son. I was like, damn, I don't know. I asked my son, what did he do? Like, what you do? He's like, oh, shit. So he's saying nothing. My son green, so he's saying nothing in it.
Is your son on a scholarship at Maryland? Or did he walk on?
Yeah, he on the full ride. He on the full ride. And it's funny, we was talking about NIL. The average player is getting about 5,000 a month. He getting 5,000 a month. He get that. He getting 5,000 a month. Like 5,000. We trying to make sure he's saving it because at the same time, you want to make sure you get your education while you up there. You can get your masters. So we try to make sure he get his education. Even if he go to the league, wherever he get in and start getting doing good, get in, he can come back and still they honor his scholarship. He don't have to pay nothing. So and then and make sure he save his money. So we've been watching his account. So he doing fine all right already. I just told him, look, you saved us some money. I don't care what you need. Let me know. But right now, Mike and them struggling, man. I don't know what they need to do. But I think it's a little bit of the quarterback and offensive line. So we're gonna see, man. It's still early, and the good thing they still got W's. They got Indiana and Ohio, and hopefully they
Ohio
we can
State.
see Ohio State. Yeah,
Yeah. So Indiana,
they're in the Big Ten.
they should be able to win. They should be able to win the Indiana game. That'll make them
Yeah, Ohio
5.
State. Now Ohio State, we played well last year. We had the lead going into halftime. They muffed the goddamn kick coming out of halftime or something, and then the game went ugly. Then we ended up losing by 10 or something like that. But they was in the game. And then Michigan, we was in the game with Michigan. Only team that really took us, Wisconsin beat the brakes off us, and Penn State. Everybody else that they did lose to, we had a change. I think it was Nebraska that beat the brakes of us last year. One of them teams. It was a white school. I remember that was a big head. But we'll see, man. It's still said to be done. I think they're going to red shirt, and I think you should know by tomorrow because they had 4 games. So no, now in college football, the first they used to have the red shirt in the beginning. Now they get up to 4 games. So they see when maybe a corner get hurt or somebody get hurt, they get lineman. They can be like, nah, keep him. We might need him. So he should know by sometime this week if he gonna get red shirt. I'm hoping they red shirt, but I want him to get a little bit bigger. He went from 152 to 170 something. They want him to get to 180. So and he needed to still learn because he wasn't able to enter early. Now I can't. Granted, he probably would have been playing a little bit more if he'd came in January. He couldn't come because academic wise, he had a class he had to take and the credits. So the kids that did come in January, they actually getting some time. They getting decent portions in the game. So I think that's the reason, the factor that he's not really in right now. And he just came on Father's Day. So, and he did make some accolades. He put on a 15, 20 pounds or whatever that was. I don't know numbers. And so we're going to see. I hope they redshirt him because that's what he need. You can learn from the bench. You can get your strength up. He need to learn. He said he's still learning defensive scheme. It's a lot of stuff. And so we'll see.
Yeah, red shirting is not a bad thing. My son went to Townsend, and he redshirted his freshman year. He switched positions also. He was a running back and cornerback in high school. They switched him to wide receiver. So I thought that year gave him a good opportunity to come in to learn and start to pick up that new position. Like you said, he didn't come in January. He came in the summer. A lot of those kids, like you say, when they come in January, they get that spring ball. So they get a heads up on a lot of people.
Exactly.
So yeah, red shirting is definitely not a bad thing, man. And hey, I wish him all the best. And like you said, be careful on that sideline because I know what you're talking about. We had plenty of parents talking about people's kids and the parents looking like, yo, man, that's my son. So we had that a lot. So my wife was like the same way as your wife was. Babe, that's his mama right there. That's his dad. So just be careful.
She point people out now. It got so bad. She a point like, that's what she be. We sit down like they go whistle in your ear. So I be on the man. I respectful, but yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Like you said, they play Indiana this week. That's gonna be a rough game. I expect them to play good, but my last question to you guys is Miami. Man, Miami put up 70 points today. Miami beat them boys 70 beat Denver 70-20. Are the Dolphins for real? Are the
Come on.
Dolphins? Are the Dolphins and Tua, Hill, and them boys? Are they for real or are they playing?
Right now, you can't say anything else but they are the real. You know what I mean? The numbers they putting up, they playing ball. And what's scary is they still don't have my man. I'm forgetting his name. Who got hurt? The starting corner, All Pro cornerback, who got hurt that hadn't even played
Ramsey.
there. Ramsey, exactly. They don't even have Ramsey to throw in the mix. Once you bring Ramsey back and add that extra piece to the defense, Miami's looking scary, man.
Man,
They're looking
I
tough
don't.
right now.
Man, out of all the years I have watched the NFL, and man, I've been watching the NFL since my father had me as a little kid, little boy. Man, I don't think I can recall 70 points. I gotta
No,
think long and hard before I
well,
can think about 70 points.
I think it said the last team to score that was actually it was the Redskins. The Redskins beat somebody. I forget who it was. I was listening to it on the radio on the way home, but the Redskins scored 72 points, and I want to say that was like in 1966. They were saying something like in '66 was the last time that happened. So yeah, that's longer than your lifetime, Mark. So that's why you haven't saw it. But I don't even remember teams in the NFL getting beat that badly like that before. My wife was telling me, she was like, "Am I reading this right? Miami got 70," and I was like, "That can't be right." And then when we saw it, I was like, "Damn, man, what that's just crazy." I was looking at the touchdowns. Mozart, 4 touchdowns. Akina, or whatever, the other running back, 4 touchdowns. Tua threw for 4 touchdowns. It's it's just crazy. The numbers they were putting up is just crazy.
The
But
numbers they putting up is sick. And Tyreek Hill said that he said before the season that he was gonna put the thing on these motherfuckers this year, man. And right now he had 9 balls, 157 yards.
yeah,
Whew. And
and
he was
I wonder when they sat them down. When they do winning like that, I wonder when they sat down. Cause just imagine if he'd have played the whole game, how many more stats he could have had. So when I turned on the game and saw it was 70-20, it was still over 5 minutes left in the game. And I'm pretty sure they had been benched a while before that. So that Miami right now to me, Miami is the front runner, definitely out of the AFC. Got to give Miami the nod for the front. Kansas City playing good ball, but they're just playing all right. They're not playing like them Dolphins right now. I gotta give power ranking to me. I gotta get the Dolphins #1 team in the NFL right now.
Yeah,
You believe that too, Dion? You believe Miami is playing as a on the top level?
yeah, they playing. The year that Talib, whatever his damn name, he got hurt. Um, they was doing good that year. Remember before he got hurt. So I think, hey, it's time. I'm happy. That's what I like in the NFL, man. I like for them new winners, man. I'm sick of Kansas City. I'm really sick of San Francisco. San Francisco really ain't that good. We just saw it in NFC. It's just ridiculous. There's no competition. So all you gotta do is coach. If you can coach your way deep.
I don't think San Francisco playing good ball right now, but I don't think they're going to come out the NFC East this year.
Who
I
you
don't
think
think
around the
Philly.
NFC East?
Well,
I mean
not East. I don't
NFC.
mean out the NFC. I don't think San Francisco going to come out, and I don't think Philly's going to come out. I think it's going to be a surprise team that steps up
For
and
real?
comes out of the NFC East out of the NFC this year. That's just my personal opinion. Kind of hoping it's my boys, but we're gonna see. I feel like if everything lines up correctly, depending on how some other teams finish the season and place in that playoff ranking, if everything lines up, I think that somebody could shock one of those two teams and come out of the NFC. So I just really don't feel like one of those two
Yeah.
teams, although they're favored. I don't feel like one of those two teams are going to be the team to come out the NFC this year.
I hope so. I'm an underdog guy, so
Yeah.
I love competition.
Yeah, yeah,
Shit.
I agree. I'm an underdog, so I'm hoping
Yeah.
that, of course, it'd be nice to see Miami if Miami comes out of the AFC. Now,
That'll be good.
now that my god brother has left Kansas City, I'm all in with somebody else winning besides Kansas City. So I like to see the Dolphins come out of the AFC, at least right now the way they're playing. I would love to see them finish to get the season
What's
strong.
going on with Cincinnati?
I think Joe Burrow's still hurt, man. I think he's trying to play with that calf, and it's showing. They looking real bad right now.
Bad.
Looking real bad. So
Wow.
Yeah, they looking bad. They gotta
They
get.
done hurt the boy out, man.
Yeah, they done hurt him, and I hope he played Monday night because I got a
No,
coworker.
they already. I thought they said he already out.
They ruled him out.
Yeah, I
I'm
think they
about to say
did.
I saw that he was still questionable, but
Some dude
maybe
Brown.
something. Oh, Browning. They're gonna go with
Brown.
Browning.
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
That's not good for me. I got Chase on my team. That's not good for me.
Oh man.
But he needs the rest. I think maybe they rushed him back, trying to get him ready for week 1. But yeah, his play definitely hadn't been there, and the offense has definitely suffered. So I'm
Yeah.
wishing Cincinnati all the best. I'm a Joe Burrow fan. Had my jersey
Mm-hmm.
on yesterday for my LSU game, but yeah,
Yeah.
Cincinnati
You from
played
New
right.
Orleans?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's my family from.
Yes, sir. Born and
Yeah,
raised. Yeah,
we're part of where you out of New York from?
I'm from that Ninth Ward, Lower
Oh,
Ninth
he's from
Ward.
Night Wall. Yeah, my family from the country, but I got family in New Orleans, Baton Rouge. I'm up got 18 brothers and sisters. She from a little town called Angie, Louisiana,
Okay.
and Bogalusa.
Yeah, I know what
It's
Bogalusa.
way in the country. They got one
Yeah,
traffic light, maybe two.
yeah, 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 yeah.
It's
Bogalusa,
country.
that's small too. So yeah,
Yeah.
I hadn't heard of that one, but yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm from New Orleans, the city,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
so big Saints fan, and
You know what? I
all
know. Hey, look, I got a couple. We make me mad. I got cousins that Saints fans, then I got cousins that fucking Dallas fans. I'm like, what the hell?
yeah, that ain't New Orleans.
They everywhere, man.
Yeah,
Got a
I
lot
would
of got.
say 98% of people in New Orleans are Saints fans. It's
Okay.
rare that you see, like here, you see a lot of Dallas fans
Yeah. Oh
in
no
this
way.
area. In New Orleans, you don't see that. You see Florida Lees everywhere. You see Saints stuff everywhere. They're big
Yeah.
time Saints
Yeah.
fans down in New Orleans. So it's rare when we do have some. Don't get me wrong. I went to high school with 2 of them that were Dallas fans, but
Yeah.
that's the only 2 I know. Other than that, everybody else I know ride the Saints. So we just have to see what
Yeah.
happens. But yeah,
Okay.
so that's the squad. That's the squad. I'm riding with my boys. We took the L today. I need to see what's going on with Derek Carr after today because
So
I
who's
thought
y'all got Wentz?
yeah,
Who y'all
Wentz
back
came
up?
in and he didn't do anything. He didn't do
Dang.
anything. So we just have to see. I think they said Derek Carr injury wasn't season ending, but I
Yeah.
just need to see how long he's going to be out. So we're
Dang.
Oh, they
gonna.
said Derek Carr wasn't season
Yeah,
ending.
it was almost
I thought I
yeah.
saw it said it was not a season ending injury.
But
So
it
I'm
was
hoping
close
that's
to
the
being
case.
one. I guess it was severe, at least a couple of weeks or so.
Yeah. So we're gonna need Winston to step up. Like you said, next man up. We're gonna need Winston to be the next man up and step his game up. And let's see what happens. He got the
Injury's gonna
tools.
play a role in a lot to go this year, I think.
He
You
got the
got a lot
tools.
of running backs going down. You
We
got
got Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara comes back.
oh,
Also,
okay.
today was
I
the
was
last
wondering
game
where
for
y'all okay,
suspension.
okay.
He was
Yeah.
suspended, so he comes back next week. We lost Jamal Williams. He out for at least 6 weeks. They put him on IR, so
Yeah.
he's gone for at least 6 weeks. So that's perfect that Alvin is coming back just in time now that has happened. But I wanted to see Winston do well, but I'm kind of after this second half performance today when he had opportunity to step up and come in. They didn't score any points. You know what I'm
Oh, he
saying?
came in the whole second half.
He played the second half. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I just got to see what's going to happen next week, baby. I'm gonna say that he had to break the rust off, knock the rust off because he hadn't played. But
Oh yeah, coming off injuries from like a long time. Yeah.
right. So
Yeah,
he
it's
hadn't
been a
played in a
while.
while. So
Yeah.
we gonna next week we got Tampa Bay and New Orleans. So his old team in New Orleans home game. So hopefully he can step up if Derek Carr is out. Hopefully he can step up and get us that W. We're gonna need that W
Who
next
you
week.
guys
Yep.
play next week?
Tampa Bay next week in New
Tampa
Orleans.
Bay next week. Y'all got Baker. Baker gonna bake y'all ass next week. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
I get it. I get it.
Sorry ass Baker, but I'm gonna
I
go
get it.
ahead. I want to get you guys last thoughts on our game. Commanders get demolished by Buffalo, 37-3. Dirk, DJ, what's your final thoughts or on this game this week?
This I'm not gonna be that critical on y'all. Because I got hopes for y'all to do good this year. So I'm gonna say, hey, it was a tough loss. You know what I mean? It's only one game, so you 2-1. You still got a winning record right now. So Dallas losing. Hopefully Philly gets a L. If that's the case, you're still to tie for the division lead. So it was a tough loss. I'm being optimistic as a non-Commanders fan. Well, I'm a supporter. I'm a supporter. As a Commander supporter, I'm gonna be optimistic, and I'm just gonna. I want to see what happens next week. I want to see how they respond next week after this week, and so tough loss. That's all I'm gonna say. Tough loss.
And Dion, what about you, man? This was a beat down 37-3. I was laughing at the Giants when the Giants lost to the Cowboys 40-0. My coworker brought in 40 donuts to my other coworker, right?
Oh shit.
I was like, damn, I was laughing my ass off. And then here we go. We lose 37-3.
Yeah,
What's
you
your
have to
last
duck the
thought?
donut guy. Hey,
Yeah.
it's a tough loss, but if we don't get no violence, we're gonna get a lot of tough losses, especially if you keep this kid in the game. They gotta give him some support. They gotta make better play calling at the right time. We keep, time after time we get a first down, he still want to drop the kid back and back. Like, come on, run it. I just think he got to give us some balance. If he don't give us no balance, we're gonna have a long year, especially to keep him in. You can't expect no quarterback, even a veteran, to keep throwing 33 times a game and no balance. So if he don't get no balance in his offense, shit, we gonna have a rough season with either quarterback, I think.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough, man. This game coming up. Even though I still don't look at Philly as a team that they were last year.
Yeah.
They not that same team.
No, they
and I
not.
think we could go up there, we could play with them and make it a ball game. I think, I think it's gonna be a good game. I think they should be able to. It should be interesting. I don't want to give them no if they're gonna win or lose. I just say it's gonna be interesting, depending on how I play and how bad his confidence was shaking this week. It was rough. It was rough watching them. We get smashed, but anytime we lose and the Cowboys lose, it
It's a
always
good
make
week.
it it's a good weekend, make you feel a whole lot better.
Yes,
A
sir.
whole lot better. I'm like, God damn, now I could go to work tomorrow and feel a little bit of confidence. I ain't gotta sit there and worried about us getting our ass whipped. Cause they fucked around, they lost to Arizona, so it was a good feeling. I'm still a little bit upset about Dion. I'm still upset. I'm reading all these quotes on Twitter, all these side motherfuckers. They hating on him, jealous of him. I was like, God damn, these must some hate motherfuckers, but it's all good, man. So, Commanders get beat by Buffalo 37-3. We had a lot of upsets. Baltimore losing Indianapolis 22-19. I watched that game. They went into overtime.
What?
They went into overtime. They lost that. They had both offenses had the ball a couple times, and Baltimore couldn't pull it out. Cleveland beat Tennessee. Miami beat Denver. New England beat the Jets. Who else we got real quick? Detroit beat Atlanta. Green Bay beat New Orleans. Houston beat Jacksonville, which is a shocker.
Yeah.
The Chargers beat the Vikings, and Seattle beat Carolina. So we had a interesting week. And right now it's tied 0-0 Pittsburgh against the Raiders first quarter. So glad you guys could make it. Come on. A little bit disappointed about our loss today. And hopefully, we can pull it together and we'll see what happens, later this week. Hope you guys could tune in, subscribe, hit the like buttons, and we're gonna see back what the Commanders could do later on this week as they get ready for Philly. So
Yes, sir.
appreciate you guys coming
All
on.
right, yes,
And we'll
sir.
Thank you for
talk back.
having me, man. Thank you for
Right,
having
we'll
me.
talk
Catch
back
up
at
with
the
y'all
middle
next
of the
time.
week. All right.
All right.
All right, fellas.
All right.
Later.